So we're looking at bushings now. The process of replacing these bushings was not super hard. There's only 8 of them, and I'll show you where they are. I already have one side done, and I'm going to be replacing the other side. But basically, it's just the process of getting these old rubber grommets out and putting in some new ones that are a lot easier to work with. They did actually end up coming with the truck. I found them later. I thought they were something else, and then I realized what they were. I went ahead and got different hardware. The right size is 3/8, and I decided to go up to half, grade 8 bolts and nuts and washers and everything, because I just wanted it to be a little more, like, just a little beefier. And most of the channels and holes and things in the truck already supported 1/2 inch. It was really just just a couple of really specific spots where I had to drill out, and it was not a big deal. So I went ahead and did that. I bought an air hammer, and it was tremendously helpful. This guy is amazing. It's been so useful for so many things that I've been doing. I totally recommend owning one of these for so many reasons, like breaking free things. You can straight up cut sheet metal with this to an extent, like not cleanly obviously, but it's quite impressive. Breaks spot welds really easy. I have a little different type of pin here. One of them is this little pin, and I just flattened out the front of it a bit, and I use this to get the old bolts out from the grommets because they were very stuck in the channels, rusted into place. So what I would do is I'd cut off the nut at the bottom, and then I'd stick this up into the onto the bottom of the bolt, and then just run the air hammer and just pushes it right out like butter, instead of having to do all the chiseling and prying that you would normally have to figure out leverage points, all that. Yeah, it was a bit of an effort, but it ultimately turned out pretty well. All right, so the next part for me is to get the other 4, or actually 3 chassis bolts, because the ones on my floors are gone. So I thought I'd show you. So the weirdest one is this guy up under the grill here. So you've got to pull the grill off the front to get to this one. And then if it's got some better shape rust-wise than mine, the other one is gonna be right there where that rust spot is. That's one of them right there. Normally you'd obviously not see through it. Right up under here, behind this point. Actually, you can see it from here. Really easy, right from the wheel well. So that's it. And that's gotta come off. And you can see the guy who did mine, I think mine have been replaced at some point and then reinforced badly. And there's like 1,000, like the bolts below the top one are like spacers. They're not even the right size. So I gotta rip all that apart. And then I've got like I said, new hardware for all of it. And then the last one is accessed from the top here. And in the bottom, you can see it pretty easy. It's right up there. And that's the hardware. So I just gotta pull all that out. Like I said, mine is a little bit too rusted to really get them off. It's very challenging. So it's easier for me to just cut all of it. There's some spots in this where he doubled up, or somebody did, probably the original owner, when he was using it for snow plowing, doubled up on the bushings. And I can show that to you again in the middle. And it created a whole bend in the whole body of the car, which is why the doors don't shut properly and why they're all spaced out like this. Like he put a spacer block behind this, and there's one like that on the other side as well. And it's because they did this, and that's actually 2. It should only be 1 of those. And it's like that here on the back bushing, which you can kind of see up there, dual hose clamps. And it's not like that on the front though. So they didn't do it here. See, just the one. And I don't believe that it was probably present here on the foot one. Yeah, it's not. So just the one. So what that does is it effectively flexes the whole chassis And because the body mount is here behind this point, it'll actually create a flex because it's here, it's stacked up high, there it's low. So it creates the whole makes the whole truck go like this, right on the door seam, which is why this was all, and is still on this side, higher. The gap is bigger at the top than the bottom by a significant amount, or to the point where those door seals don't even work. I mean, if you can hear the door shut, there's a big gap. On this side, you can see, if I don't have anything in the way here, that's much, much closer for the gap. So basically fix that. And that was scaring me the most out of almost everything, was that gap being so far apart, because I didn't know what was causing it. And it's just an interesting choice on the bushings. All right, I got the bushings in on this side, or two of them. The back one's too high still because of the double up on the other side, so I gotta get those out first. But I was just gonna show you what this looks like. So I've still got it loose so I can lift the other side up without damaging anything, but I've got lock washer, nut, bushing, and there's a bigger washer here, and then the bolt obviously comes from through the top of the chassis here. Right there. So that's that. This is the bushing behind the passenger seat. That's fully replaced. So it's got the new lock washer bolt with all the pieces there. And then, so that's behind the wheel well there. And then there's one back here. Right there. That's just behind the rear bumper. There's one there. That's the cab mount. That's up right behind this point on the door. And then there's one up here in the front corner. So that's the bushings on a Scout 2, getting that all replaced and fixed up, and the whole truck is sitting so much better now. The doors are level, or significantly closer to level. I can do a little adjustment, and there's still a little work to do. On this side particularly, there's no mount on this side yet, so I'll be cutting that out and putting the bushing in. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you found it interesting, enlightening, hopefully. It's really not that hard of a process to do the bushings. It probably took me about a day to really do the vast majority of the work. So, yeah, if you are still enjoying watching, hit that like button, subscribe, and we'll catch you later.